Hello, everyone, and welcome to the course on human psychology in international relations. So, looking at the course details, the title of the course, Human Psychology in International Relations, a 2 credit course with duration of about 6 weeks, 60 hours. The course is planned for undergraduate students with eligibility as 12th grade pass. Moving ahead, we need to understand the relevance of this course. So, while we understand that international relations has always been looked into through theories of structure, politics, power, security, now in today's time, we also understand that human behavior plays a very centric role in shaping global politics, diplomacy, and conflicts, and hence the need of this course. It is also increasingly recognized that psychological processes such as attention, cognition, perception, group identity, they deeply influence how global politics shape how global actors work and how the decision making happens between the political spaces. So, understanding human psychology almost turns out to be a non negotiable when it comes to looking at the space of global affairs. Now, by integrating psychological insights into international relations, looking at the policy making work, then trying to look at global challenges, how conflict resolution, dialoguing, peace happens, this course is going to help you build an interdisciplinary approach that's not just enough to understand the theoretical frameworks but perhaps also for building a more cooperative and a peaceful world. So, course outcomes. By the end of the course, you as students will be able to explain the foundational concepts of human psychology, the fundamental basics of the discipline with its intersection with international relations and theories. Then you will also be able to analyze the influence of psychological factors on behavior of great powers in global politics. Further, evaluate how human psychology shapes the foreign policy and developmental trajectories of developing underdeveloped nations, applying psychological approaches to real world case studies in diplomacy, negotiation, conflict, and cooperation. So, all in all, the course is going to give you a deeper understanding of how human psychology is an integral part of international relations. Understanding both the disciplines in their individual spaces and an integrated understanding is going to help you have a more nuanced view of global politics and political psychology as a discipline. Moving ahead, we look at the course format. So, 6 hours interactive sessions. There are different mode learnings. You have interactive sessions which are for the duration of 6 hours, which is going to include the webinars and the lectures, one per week. Then discussion forums, which are asynchronous mentoring for about 12 hours, guided online debates, question hour sessions, peer discussions, and mentoring. Then e-tutorials support is also given in the course, which is for about 10 hours, short recorded lectures on cognitive biases, groupthink, globalization, and concepts of psychology and international relations. The course is also well supported by e-content for about 10 hours, where you would be facilitated with PPTs, scholarly articles, real case IR studies, reference, and reading material. Then there's also self study material which would be inclusive of assessments for about 22 hours, where you would have independent reading, quizzes, reflective essays, and case study analysis. So the total course is going to be for a duration for about 60 hours and it is equivalent to 2 credit course. Going ahead, some instructions for learners. We welcome you to the interdisciplinary course that explores how human psychology shapes global politics, diplomacy, conflicts, and cooperation. So, while you go ahead with the course, we want you to be following certain instructions, such as what are our course objectives. While we begin any course, there's a set purpose, there's a set objective that the learner and the course maker aligning with the vision develop. So while you do this course, you should be able to understand key psychological concepts such as cognition, emotion, perception, and group behavior. Following, explore how psychological processes influence international relations, including concepts of decision making, leadership, and peace building. Further, analyze real world case studies and develop critical thinking. Beyond the objectives, we also need to understand what is going to be a learner's approach, what is expected out of you to build in your approach. So, we expect that you have active participation in discussions, debates that are held online. Real cases are discussed, so an understanding through participation. Then you're also required to reflect on how psychological biases, emotions impact political choices, global events. You can bring in your own case analysis also. Use a lot of interdisciplinary sources because this course talks about intersectionality in a very strong way. So, psychology, political science, history, and sociology they become more important disciplines for you to build your understanding on. Then apply theoretical knowledge to contemporary global issues like terrorism, diplomacy, nationalism, being able to see these issues from a more critical, nuanced lens now. Further, there are assignments and assessment procedures where you would have your multiple choice questions, you would have a lot of assignments otherwise to write, for which you would be required to read regularly authentic textbooks, scholarly articles, analytical essays, presentations would also be required, and case study evaluations. So while we go ahead with the course, we expect you strongly to maintain academic integrity, where we would want you to have uh, authentic measures of assessments used which are plagiarism free, proper referencing of the books is done, and collaboration is deeply encouraged. Participation expectations, we respect diverse opinions and cultural perspectives, that always makes us grow better. Engage constructively with classmates, recognizing the global issues, taking their views, and sketching the learning curve together. Ask questions, challenge assumptions, and explore alternative viewpoints. Then we recommend certain study habits which are always very constructive for learners. To maintain a reflective journal while you do this course, you should be able to chalk in your thoughts, think about it, get into the retrospect, introspect, and be able to have a more deeper understanding. Participate in group discussions, regularly review case studies, be more updated with the news, with anything in the contemporary times relevant to the discipline, should be a subject matter of learning. So, this is the baseline of the course where we look at the influence of perception, emotion, cognitive biases, identity, group dynamics on global political dynamics of the nation. Then, table of contents. The first module looks at introducing human psychology and international relations. Unit 1 talks about psychology and international relations and interdisciplinary link. Unit 2 looks at the nature and scope of psychology in international relations. And Unit 3 very strongly understands dynamics of psychology and international relations. Module 2 focuses on human psychology and great power. That is to be done in week 3 and 4, where you have different units such as cognition, perception, misperception, personality, leadership styles to be understood, groupthink, propaganda, and mass psychology to be understood with great power rivalries. Then, Module 3, which focuses on human psychology and developing underdeveloped nations. So, this we cover in week 5 and 6. The units that we look into this module is about colonial legacies and its impact on the post colonial states. leadership, development aspirations, and psychological barriers. Then the concept of conflict, poverty, collective psychology in developing nations. The course developers, people who've effectively contributed to this course are Dr. Santosh Kumar Singh, Dr. Kiran Singh, Dr. Zeba, and Dr. Priya Bhatnagar. We thank you for being a part of this learning process. We hope that this course helps you develop a more critical lens towards understanding of international relations, a more psychology based lens, a nuanced understanding towards the entire discipline of international relations and global politics. So, we are happy to invite you to join this course and take ahead the learning curve together. Thank you.